Welcome to the Turn on the Music podcast. My name is Kyle. This is episode 9. We have a continuation of our artist spotlight from last week with Joe Bonamassa. And I've got CJ here to speak about it. CJ, how are you, sir?
Wait, I'm speaking about it?
Sure.
Sure.
Go for it.
I can read.
That is shocking.
What's wow. How's it go?
How's what go?
How's it going?
Oh, um, it's raining.
It's raining.
It's thundering.
Has that been that good of a work week for you?
Yeah.
That the thunderstorm is the
This is the
highlight
highlight
of your
of my
work
week.
week?
Yeah. Highlight of my week is thunderstorms.
Yeah.
So, how about you? How's your week?
Same.
Cool.
It's been busy, but the past couple of days has been like a good busy. Like I can't complain about the people that I've had to work with over the past couple of days, but it's just been busy. Like
Mm-hmm.
getting to work early, staying a little bit later, you know. So
Gotcha.
otherwise, I can't complain. I can, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
So I'll apologize now ahead of time if you guys hear rain or thunder. Sorry. It is coming down right now pretty hard. So
Hopefully, you won't lose electricity.
yeah. Luckily, when we have storms like this, I don't typically lose electricity, but
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen tonight. So
Hopefully, you don't. Well, at least it's not tornadoes.
that's true. Yeah, I don't think we're under any tornado watches or anything like that. We're pretty far away from that tonight. Maybe Sunday, but we'll see. So what you listening to? Anything good?
No, it's been like because it was the way it was. I just kind of been listening to the audiobook because it allows me to just kind of zone out,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just kind of listen to it. Outside of that, plus I'm almost done with this book, and then I go into book 16, and I'm done with the series, and then I
Nice.
can, you know. But yeah, I'm trying to think if I listened to any music the past few days at work. No, I haven't been able to.
Okay.
That's the only thing that stinks. I'm actually looking into they sell those they're not in-ear headphones, but they like clip on your ear. They're called open in-ear headphones where they
Mm-hmm.
don't go inside, but
Yeah.
like I'm thinking of getting a pair of them because if I do that, I can at least listen to music but still hear what's going on around me.
Gotcha.
Because when I put something in my one ear, because I don't like put in my left, I put in my right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear everything that's going on like behind me if someone calls me or if the phone rings. So I
Right.
figured if I do that, that may work. Not sure
Gotcha.
yet. I mean, I'm not going to spend a lot of money, and I found a couple that are like $50. So it doesn't have to be the best sounding. It just has to be something to be able to listen to some music.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Cool.
say I want to listen to heavy metal, then I'll take them out. Just, people can just deal with
Right.
it. What's going on in the corner over there? What about yourself?
I needed to chill out a little bit today, so I listened to this.
This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, the sound of one makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices too. The sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too.
So that's the Waylon Jennings. Interesting thing about the Waylon Jennings, I think I mentioned on the show before that they're actually named after a remembrance of Waylon Jennings. And people thought they were making fun of him because they came out like around the time he passed away. But I was looking at some of their other stuff. So Ruth Moody is one of the singers, and she has another group she plays with called Scrooge McDuck, but it's spelled weird. It's spelled SCRUG and then MAHDUCK. I was like, that's
great.
Scrooge McDuck. that's pretty funny.
Great. That's
So-
great. But they're not wailing.
No, they're not.
They sing very nicely.
They do. They sure do.
That was a bad joke.
Yes. So yeah, got a lot of compliments from it today, actually, too.
Oh, good.
So a lot of people were.
Well, they're
digging
very
the Waylon
good.
Jennings. Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're great.
So.
I'm not surprised.
Nope.
I could totally get wanting to listen to them to kind of chill.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a weird day. It was, Corey Wong and Joe Bonamassa. I've been listening to him a lot because of, the episodes we've been doing, re-listening to a lot of his stuff, which I haven't listened. He's not in the regular rotation. So now it's like, going back to listen to all his stuff is just, it's a good change.
That's awesome. It's funny. I was scrolling through Instagram and came up with to a video. It was like a guitar or bass guitar feed, and it's like crazy bass guitarists, and they had Victor Wooten was the short video clip, and they said, is he even real? Is he an alien? And it's the time that he was playing with Corey Wong.
Oh, okay.
So he's playing, and then like they do that camera pan where you can kind of see Corey Wong like off in the distance. And I never noticed it before, but you see Corey Wong's face do like, wow, he just did that. Like his face just like, and to see another musician of Corey Wong is talented.
Yeah, he is
on the guitar. And to see a musician like him, like kind of like take a breath and go like, wow, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Is very cool to see.
Yep.
It just goes to show that's probably why they get along so well.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I've been listening to Corey Wong's podcast as well. I started listening to that. So I started with the one with Chris Thiele. Excellent. Really interesting stuff.
Is it funny? Because he's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah. There's some funny stuff in it. There's, some serious stuff. Just listening to the way they talk about music is really cool too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
So shall we continue talking about Mr. Joe Bonamassa?
Joe Bonamassa.
Joe.
Banana.
So we got through about half of his catalog last episode. So we're going to start at 2010, which is Black Rock. Came out in 2010. And, I was kind of mentioning last episode towards the end how he's kind of into this like railroad, like, I don't know, is steampunk the right word? I don't know what, like, it's the story of a quarryman and, the Ballad of John Henry and all these things. It's kind of like,
it's rail work.
Yeah. It's
like, I mean, it's like slavery.
Yeah.
And that type of story and working, when they were in the prisons, and this is anybody, they were working on the rails and all that stuff. It's kind of like what's that movie with George Clooney and they do the bluegrass? Oh Brother, We're Out There.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where the Fairfield Four singing that.
Yep.
That group that we found a while back. So 2010 Black Rock. This song is called "Steal Your Heart Away."
Finally
we're in 2010 rather. So we're early 30s. In his
Right.
career. But he's been playing since he was 4, so he's playing a long time at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely. Was
Hmm.
it? His father owned a guitar store.
Yeah.
I'm assuming his father played guitar.
Yes.
Did he play for anybody or with anybody, or was it just like, I'm a musician, I enjoy it, I want to sell guitars?
I think that's what it was. I don't think he really. I don't know. I don't know much about his father, but damn. I mean, obviously had a lot of connections because he got that the whole bloodline. Getting all those
Oh yeah,
musicians together
absolutely.
is
Yeah.
not easy to do. So let me move on to his next album, which came out in 2011. Like I said, it's like every year he's coming out with something. Oops, sorry, I didn't pause it.
How dare you?
How dare I? This is called Black Lung Heartache.
Of the mountain, I'm just made of dirt. Of this earth I've traveled like a shepherd and his herd. And I said, hang on, black lung heartache. I mine. And if I die, who will tend my children? Who will be by the side? And I said, hang on, black lung heartache.
That's from an album called The Dust Bowl, and you look at the album cover, it's a picture of a tornado and a little field, and kind of fitting for parts of the country right now. We've got some crazy storms going through Oklahoma and all that sort of stuff now, and
it's nuts.
I mentioned Ryan Hall a couple of weeks ago. He is up to $400,000 that he has raised like this month. I think he said, like, a ridiculous amount of money.
That's
for
awesome.
People that are have been affected by these storms. So
it's going to be very interesting because I was watching some of what he was talking about moving forward, and the prediction with the way the hurricanes are going to be and the season and how the water down. It's nuts.
Yeah.
That's awesome that he's raising money though. It's very cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think another interesting thing about all of these songs that we've been talking about how Joe is not really 30 years old. He's probably a lot older than that. And it's interesting that like a lot of the songs like that we've been into are talking about 100, 200 years old. Those times, which is kind of interesting to think about it that way.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. It is. It's true.
Yeah. So the next album, I'm sorry.
No, I'm trying to see if I can find anything on his father. Apparently there's like some YouTube videos of him playing and stuff.
Oh, cool.
But it said Bonamassa established in 2011. Like it's a young store.
Interesting.
It's a young store. It says is a guitar boutique located in central New York. Len Bonamassa is the father of legendary blues guitarist Joe Bonamassa.
I thought he had it long before that.
That's what I thought. Unless maybe he had one prior.
Yeah, maybe.
And like this is the big one, like he opened up for the son or whatever.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
A little sidetrack. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So 2012, Driving Towards the Daylight. This Driving Towards Daylight is the title. The title. Good Lord, use your words. The title track to this album was one that was played on the radio a little bit, which is the first one that I know about since like Miss You Hate You, which is one of his first albums. So not a lot of radio time, or like regular radio time, pop radio time. But I like this song better. This is called "Dislocated Boy."
I've been gone a long time, lost in the seven seas. Sail on, don't you come back until you learn the birds and the bees. Who will you find waiting for you? Blood in the wine. So let's call my preacher my very lovely wife. I said, hey now, knock down, why'd you do it? Roll me like a hurricane. All is a bust and I'm numb like Novocaine. Who done it? What's up? You said, tell me how, why don't you, boy? I'm alone, severely broken. I'm a dislocated boy.
I love all of his stuff. It's just all so good.
It is. It's he puts a lot of emotion
Mm.
in his playing.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't just play it.
Mm-hmm.
Where sometimes
And-
I mean, I'm not saying that who we listen to, they just do that, but like he definitely, you can tell,
Right.
dives into it.
Yep. And I remember when we saw him together, one of the things you said about him was he sings through his guitar.
Oh, he totally, yes. He sings through his guitar.
Yep.
He definitely does. And I think that's what I like so much about him, because that is, I think, is a very important. It's like Sarah Watkins. She sings
Mhm.
through her
Yeah.
playing when she plays the violin.
Yep.
And I just think that is a huge thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have an album with a fantastic singer by the name of Beth Hart. Actually, before we get to that one, after that one, he had 2 live albums come out, live at the Beacon Theater, and then the live at the Vienna Opera House. And the live at the Vienna Opera House is also available on DVD. Well worth it. Very interesting stuff going on there. It's all acoustic, but he's got some really interesting instruments that he plays. One of them is called a nickel harpa, which is
Okay.
a really cool instrument. Let me see if I can find this really quick. Let's do it on this. Oh no, if I do it that way, I won't be able to see it. Oh, that's okay. We'll forget about that. I forget it has a tremendous amount of strings. I think it's like 32 strings maybe. Hang on, let me nickel harpa.
If Nickelback comes up as a picture, I'm gonna laugh.
So it is a Swedish instrument. Let me see, from 600 years ago. It's similar to the hurdy-gurdy, which but it looks like almost like a violin with like a ridiculous amount of strings on it. I'm trying to figure out how many.
But it
strings
has like, it has almost like keys on it.
yeah, it's very, very
Like it's
weird.
a violin with like keys,
Yep. So
and
he has
you play
someone
with
who
the
plays
bow.
that. Yep. So very popular in Swedish music, and he has a guy that plays it, and then a whole bunch of other really cool. He's a fiddle player, and
It's a dulcimer on steroids.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So it's an album well worth checking out, especially on the video. So definitely check that one out. So then in 2013, he came out with an album with a fantastic singer by the name of Beth Hart. Beth Hart has struggled with addiction issues, and she is, well on her way to recovery, and she's a phenomenal singer. And they've done several albums together, but this is one called Seesaw, and this song is called Nutbush City Limits.
A church house, gin house, a schoolhouse, outhouse, on highway number 19. The people keep the city clean. They call it Nutbush. Oh, Nutbush. They call it Nutbush City Limit. Nutbush City Limit. 25 was the speed limit. Motorcycle not allowed in it. You go to store on Friday. You go to church on Sunday. They call it Nutbush. Nutbush. They call it Nutbush City Limit. Nutbush City Limit. You go to field on weekdays and have a picnic on Labor Day. You go to town on Saturday, but go to church every Sunday. They call it Nutbush. Nutbush. They call it Nutbush City Limit. Nutbush City Limit.
We might need to do a Beth Hart evening.
Okay.
I don't
got
know
a great
much about her.
voice.
She does, yeah, and she also plays keyboard as well.
Does she
Yeah.
have a good? I can't speak. Hold on a second. do it this way.
Catalog. Let's see. She's got
That's the word I was looking for. Catalog.
1, 2. Those are singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, she's got 12, 13, 14, 15 albums.
She's a vocalist, a piano player, a guitarist, a bass
Mhm.
guitarist, a celloist, and a percussionist.
Yep, and she in 2022 she came out with a tribute to Led Zeppelin, which I'll give you just a little sneak because I love her version of Whole Lotta Love. So we'll just play a little bit more of Beth Hart.
You need cooling, baby, I'm not fooling. I'm gonna send ya back to schooling. Way down inside, honey, you need it. I'm gonna give you my love. I'm gonna give you my love. Oh, I want a whole lot of love. 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 You've been
Very traditional, very true to the original, I think.
She's very I put her in with Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
And I even hook in Hannah Wicklund with her.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannah Wickland's like 30 years younger than her.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you Hannah Wickland's talent on top of that.
All right, so 2014, he came out with 4 live albums. One at the Hammersmith Apollo, Royal Albert Hall, Shepherd's Bush, and the Borderline. They're kind of like done in pairs, where the 2 of them are very similar in terms of repertoire. And then we get to Different Shades of Blue. This is a really cool song called "Love Ain't a Love Song." So just like the album calls for, it's different shades of blue. It's very different than the stuff that he's been doing for the last
Right.
like 10 years. It's a departure from that, kind of hardworking,
Yeah.
railway type life. Very, very different. So, and then we got a couple more live albums because why not?
Yeah.
Live at Red Rocks and live at Radio City Music Hall. And then we move into Blues of Desperation, which came out in 2016. And this is where I kind of lost track of Joe. Is right in this time frame. I just kind of, there's just so much going on. I lost, I haven't listened to these albums quite as much as the other ones. But this song is called Drive.
Baby, you've been feeling poorly. I've been dealing with stress. Why don't we go out tonight? Put on your favorite dress and let's drive into the night, into the light. Let's ride. Put on an old blue song.
And again, we're starting to kind of get into uncharted territory with Joe, which is going to lead up into an album coming up pretty soon, which I think is really interesting. And I've listened to it. It's a very, very cool album, but we'll get to it in a second. But first, we're going to hit Redemption. This is called Evil Mama.
Oh, mama, sneaking up on me in the black of night. Oh, mama, turn my back just when you twist a knife. Oh, mama, I see trouble brewing in your eyes. Oh, mama, I won't ever let you wreck my life. Oh, you wreck me with your lies and your greed. No, that ain't nothing that I need. Why would you think that I would ever wanna waste my time on you? Even my
So you hear that his band is starting to get a little bit big. He's got some horns now. He's got some backup
Yeah.
singers.
Yeah.
So we're starting to explore new territory now. And I forget what live album it is, but he's got the singers and the horns with him on one of these live albums. And there's a DVD of it as well.
And it's amazing
life of
how
me, I
he
can't.
tailors his voice
Yes.
to the music.
Yes.
Because his voice, well, I mean, you could tell it's him, but you can also tell that he's, lack for a better word, changed it
Mm-hmm.
to fit the tone of the songs that
Yes.
he's
Yeah.
singing. And I think that's very cool.
And I think that's part of it is thinking like a guitarist. Because if you think
Right.
about how a guitarist would do it, it's different pedals, different tone, different, pickups that you're using, different instruments to get different sounds for different styles. So he's doing the same thing. That's the same thing you were talking about, singing through his guitar.
Right.
Like he's
Exactly.
using his voice as a guitar. And that's what Sarah Watkins does too. She uses her voice as a violin at some point.
Right.
Which is just really cool,
It is.
So this is the album that I was really interested to find because I had never heard of this album before. This is with a group called the Sleep Easies, which is him and basically his band, just a different, spin on his band. But this comes right off his website. I'm just going to read a little bit of this. It says, Hard to Sell takes an interesting departure from Bonamassa's revered repertoire with the intent of honoring Danny Gatton, one of his most influential mentors, and as well as covering instrumental versions of some of his favorite songs from Frank Sinatra, Danny Gatton, Tony Joe, Joe White, King Curtis, and more. Bonamassa expresses his excitement for the project by saying, "To be honest, I have always wanted to do a record like this. But to be even more honest, I'm not sure I was ready both professionally and musically until now. The time finally felt right to pay tribute to a mentor, a friend, and one of the greatest guitarists of all times, the late, great Danny Gatton. My time hanging out and jamming with Danny as a child shaped my playing and musical pathway more than just about anyone." So it's basically his band, but doing, songs of Danny Gatton and Frank Sinatra. So I chose the opening track, which is called Funhouse. I thought it sounded kind of cool. The whole album is great. And if you search for Joe Bonamassa, it does come up under him. But it's also called under the band The Sleep Easies, and Easy is spelled Eazys. But this is called Funhouse. Kind of brings you back to like the old school diners and that sort of stuff.
I was gonna say it's like a little bit of honky tonk,
Yeah.
a little bit of big band.
Yep.
Like it's a fun song. Funhouse is a great name for it.
Yep, sure is. Then we move on to the Royalty, which came out in 2020. So this was actually recorded at Abbey Road Studios.
Which is
Again,
why it's royalty with the TEA.
Yep. There is a live version of this one as well. This is another one that I'm not. These albums I'm not terribly familiar with. I mean, I've listened to them all, but not as much as all of his earlier stuff. Just because it's only 3 years old, so. But this song is called "Why Does It Take So Long to Say Goodbye."
Tired of running. I've seen these times before. Desperation Our candle burns no more. Everything we know takes us so far away. Trace your steps back. Don't let them guide your way. When I leave, oh, I leave for good. No coming back, like you said I would. You crossed the line.
And one of the reasons I picked this one, I think it's kind of interesting, you know, being that it was recorded in England. There's a little bit of Queen in there.
I was just gonna say,
You
yeah,
know, I hear.
it definitely he does it. He definitely is influenced a lot
Mm-hmm.
by, I guess, his favorite,
Yeah.
you know, bands or musicians or whatever you want to call them. You
Yep.
know, where does he rank as a guitarist?
What do you mean?
So I was just curiosity, you know, how they have like the best guitarist of all time and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not even on the top 10.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you have, I mean, I don't, how old is this one that I was bringing up? This was a year ago. So maybe it's changed, but like Jimi Hendrix is number 1.
Okay.
All right. And then number 2 is Eric Clapton.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Jimmy Page,
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Van Halen,
Mm-hmm.
Slash,
Mm-hmm.
David Gilmour,
Okay.
BB King,
Okay.
Joe Satriani,
Mm-hmm.
and then Prince in the top 10.
Interesting. Good list.
It's a very good list, but I'm
I'm
surprised
not sure I
he's
agree
not
with Slash
on there.
being in there, but
It's I'm not. I mean, it's just weird. And then when you go down here and then you look a little further, he names his top 10 guitarist,
Mhm.
right? So he does. This isn't. I'm going to read it off. This is off his site. BB King,
Mhm.
Albert King, Freddie King, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck,
Mm-hmm.
Ry Cooder, right? Ry Cooder, Eric Johnson, Rory Gallagher, Sonny Landreth, and Chris Whiteley.
That's a good one too.
But I'm just saying, like his list had the only 2 that are off, you know, is BB King and Eric Clapton.
Yeah, but I think his list is a little skewed because those are all blues.
I was just gonna say, and I'm
folks,
wondering
you know.
if that's why he's seen more as a blues artist than an
Right.
overall guitarist.
Yeah, and you look at the guitarists in your first list, much more popular. You know,
Right.
not
Okay.
not to
No.
you know, degrade
No, I
anything
get what you're
they've
saying.
done. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, because like there are several other guitarists that I would say should be on that list, like Guthrie Govan and Matteo Mancuso, and you know, a lot Al Di Meola. Like,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
where are those guys? You know, so how
Right,
do you
no, I
how do
agree.
you rank that list? And it's a hard list to come up with. You know,
Right.
and I
No,
and
and I agree with you. I think that that's the problem too, is and because there's so many different forms of music that could be played on the guitar,
right.
like your list, if you're going to do an overall list, that is hard to do
Mm-hmm.
because you could have someone who's played within all the realms of music, which I think he has.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's definitely done blues, rock,
Yeah.
country. He's definitely teetered amongst all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that are named in that list have not. They've stuck with the
Right.
same form of music. Most of them. I'm not saying
Yeah.
all of them. Most of them.
Yeah.
So it's a tough thing to rank.
Mm-hmm. I think Danny
You know?
Gatton should be on that list as
Right.
well.
Right.
And what's weird is Danny Gatton's not on
Not
his
on
list, which is
not on Joe
that's kinda
Bonamassa's
weird,
list,
you know.
which I think is hysterical.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a very interesting. It's tough, and you know what? It sounds like he's a very humbled
Mm-hmm.
musician.
Yeah.
You know, like I think when you start talking about musicians like Victor Wooten, Corey Wong, Joe Bonamassa, Anna Wickland,
Mhm.
all those musicians that do it for the music,
Yeah.
than really for the recognition,
Mm-hmm.
that we're asking that question, but they're probably going, doesn't matter to me.
Right. And that brings up what I was going to bring up earlier was, Victor and Michael said it. Music is not a competition.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
well, and like I said, we're so ingrained with that.
Right.
Who's the best? Who's the best?
Mhm.
Who's the best? So of course we're like, oh, I wonder where he ranks. And he didn't really rank BB King and Freddie King. He just said these are his choices. Like he didn't say this one's better than this one. He's just saying this is my list, that my go-to list.
Yeah.
But we're so ingrained with competition and pitting people against each other.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's what we do. Whereas, then you see Victor Wooten and Corey Wong who play completely different forms of music.
Yeah.
And then they play together and it works.
Yep.
Right? It works. Like you don't have to question it. It's like, yeah, that works. Totally works. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're starting to get towards the end of our giant Joe Bonamassa list. Interesting title of this one. This is called Time Clocks. And as you can tell, he's kind of living in the past, and now he's starting to, I think with that last one in particular, starting to revisit some of his earlier styles of music.
Right.
So this is called Mind's Eye.
Someone to slow the spiral down. Help, these are trying times, and I shouldn't be caught on someone else's dime. What you really mean. You don't mince words or hide intentions in between. Listen, better listen before you talk.
I think the feel of this album is more, I think it's less blues and more on the rock pop type feel.
Well, it's like you said, he's revisiting his past.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so hard, why it's taking so long to say goodbye.
Yep.
And he's probably looking to see what he can do, but he's probably not sure where to go. I don't mean that in a bad, like he probably knows where to go, but there's just so much.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he comes out with this, and this is called Deep in the Blues Again. And then he follows up that album with an album called Blues Deluxe Volume 2. And he came out with Blues Deluxe, the first volume years ago. So, just like that song says, he's getting back into that blues feel.
Right.
And then, he hits you with this one. This is off that album.
Well, I done got over it. Well, I done got over it. Yeah, I done got over it. Well, I done got over it. Yeah, I done got over it. Done got over it at last. Now, the day that I first met you, you seemed like a sweet little thing. Shame, but I done got over it. Lord, I done got over it. Yeah, I done got over it. I done got over it at last. I was so in love, I was miserable. I know my love was in vain. 'Cause every time I turn my back, he outward another man.
So very traditional blues feel on that one, so he's kind of come full circle.
I think I was processing the full circle thing because I was going to say that it's his roots.
Yeah.
It's always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very interesting how deep in the blues again, he's like, I'm coming back to you.
Yep.
I'm coming back to you. So whether he's talking about a woman or the woman is the blues,
Mm-hmm.
he's coming back.
Yep.
So good. He's really good.
Yeah, he is.
And it's crazy to think that he's only a few years older than us.
I know.
Like, and I'm sure if you had someone listen to him who was a blues person but didn't know who he was,
Mm-hmm.
would probably question his age.
Yes.
Because he's got so much emotion in his
Mhm.
playing that it's just like Hannah Wicklund. He sounds like he's so much older
Yep.
than he really is.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, he's been playing since he was 4 years old. So what is that? He's
Right.
47 now. That's 43 years of playing.
Yep.
It's 4 decades of playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts.
So he's got a new album coming out. He's released a couple singles of it. This is Live at the Hollywood Bowl is coming out very soon. It's got a full orchestra with it, and I'm tempted to play some of it, but I kind of want to wait for the whole album to come out. But I kind of want to hear some of the orchestra.
I know, me too. I almost pre-ordered the vinyl record.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I might have to do that. All right, a little bit of Ball Peen Hammer with orchestra. Oh no, I did it again. Unmute. All right, here we go. Ball Peen Hammer with a live orchestra.
I wanna go there, I wanna climb. Now I don't know about no law, I don't see no crime. There ain't no reason, there ain't no rest. I wanna get down to the water and get undressed. I can stand it, I can stand it. I can wait to see them all go down. Tell Jesus why they run. Everybody wait.
All right, that's enough. You'll have to get the rest of it when the album comes out.
Dude, that sounded like a choir.
I know.
The way the orchestra came in, I was like, "Is there a choir there too?" And then you hear, the next bow, and I was like, "Wow, that was good."
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He does have 2 Christmas albums, which I haven't talked about. He's got a single with Peter Frampton up there. There's lots of cool stuff from Joe that you have to check out. So
I mean, 40 years of him recording.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's like if you go year by year, there's at least one album from him, potentially more.
Yep. And I highly recommend his live stuff. I think his live stuff is better than his studio stuff.
You think a lot of live stuff is better than, but I mean, I agree with you on with him, because seeing him live and watching him play and hearing him play that way, I agree. His studio stuff is great, but I agree that his live is like amazing. It really is. That's why this album, I want to see the Hollywood Bowl. I want to listen to the Hollywood Bowl one. I think it'd be. I wonder if they filmed it.
They have been filming a lot of his live stuff, so we'll see if this is filmed as well.
They put it out, yeah.
Yep. I wonder what orchestra it is.
Hollywood Bowl Orchestra?
Maybe.
No, I mean, it's possible.
It just says with orchestra.
Let's see. Hollywood. It says Hollywood Bowl Review. I don't want to see the review. It's a 40-piece orchestra. And it is commemorating his debut performance at the landmark venue. Blues Licks are accompanied by an orchestra with 24-hour blues, the first track. It doesn't say anything about the name of the orchestra. It says with an orchestra.
Yeah. That's all I've been able to find too.
Like, what is that? Doesn't say anything. Yeah.
Guess we'll find out when the album comes out.
We're not allowed to tell you which orchestra it is.
Yep. Because they won't. Yeah.
That's too funny. See, it makes me think, like, it's like when I saw Ian Anderson play. He actually got 3 string players from I think it was either Juilliard or Manhattan School of Music. Every venue that he played at, he pulled musicians from the main city's music school.
Yeah, Stanley Clark does that a lot too.
I'm sorry?
Stanley Clark does that a lot too.
I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
You know? Cool.
All right, well, that is it for Joe Bonamassa. I don't know that we've decided what's coming up next yet, and I've got a couple things on my list.
We've been a little slacking on trying to get the people that we want to talk to, but we had a couple people on the list that came up. Even Beth Hart was one of them.
Yeah, Beth Hart, Bella Fleck and the Flex Zone, Stanley Clark's another one of them.
They're just gonna have to join us next week to find out who it is.
We'll have to find out.
But the cool thing is, if you join us Sunday after this episode comes out, we'll be playing all this music in its entirety. Most of it, because he probably has 5,000 hours of music. So
yeah, he does.
So Sunday 7:30, part 2 of Joe Bonamassa and his music. Friday, Kyle goes live at 8:00. He usually picks like towards the end, so you have to jump in on that one because you never know what he's gonna play.
Neither do I.
makes it very interesting, and then everything else is in the show notes, right? So just click on those links and enjoy and follow us. And until next week.
Have a good one, everyone. Next week.